3PL, which is the third party, there is a 4PL, which uses the advanced systems and integrates the manufacturing company's processes. If you look at what is manufacturing, manufacturing is also nothing but all raw material coming from diverse sources. There is some process which happens on it, and then again, so if you actually look at the logistics within the plant, then logistics number could even become 25 to 30% of the GDP, because within the manufacturing also, almost everything is logistics, and there are plants which subcontract or give internal plant logistics. Steel plant, one end to another end will be 3 kilometers, and you know the internal logistics itself is a fairly big thing. So,
you gave a good example of a mall.
Mall.
You know, I like that as an example, but that necessarily do not culminate into buying from the mall. So your cost has to come down. I do not subscribe to that idea. A, B, like for example, in case of telecom, the market has grown. Like you said that market grew in 5 years compared to IT, which is right, perfect. It grew because the cost came down dramatically. What you used to pay 30 years ago, what you pay now, or what you used to pay 20 years ago, what you pay now, it's a huge difference. It's coming down. So cost competitiveness, please don't forget, is so critical. And while you can enable, fine, but not at any and every cost. You have to fiercely compete in the world market. Once India becomes a part of the WTO, there is no way you can have a luxury of quoting any and every price. Your cost competitiveness is going to play a major role. And also going forward, I am sure you have thought about it, and of course I have no idea, that unless and until the road infrastructure continues to improve dramatically faster than your growth, right? This is correct. I completely agree with your figures that this is likely scenario. But vis-a-vis the support infrastructure, like for example port or railway or airport, and the road has to grow. Otherwise, we will be nowhere near this. And though there is an opportunity exists, and we accept your vision completely, but at the same time, if the other stakeholders see, people in this room do not matter anywhere near this. But then, unless the real infrastructure developers, whether it is government or given out to private sector on time, and with this opportunity, unfortunately, will be lost to the country. Basically, what I'm saying.
Mr. Ramesh, what I wanted to ask, following from what Nikhil said just now, what is the requirement of infrastructure to support this growth in the logistics? When they say infrastructure, they very say road, ports, airports. So without that preceding this, or at least coinciding, if not preceding, concurrently, it's very difficult to make it happen. And there are two complete different agencies or multiple agencies involved in it. And this is the same problem which we face in every major infrastructure project. Even if I take SEZ and the Kansab link, it's already somebody is very out to put the sea link, but the dispersal within Bombay city is not under their control. That again is MMRDA.
We must not lose this opportunity, in short.
But coming to a larger national picture, and let's say this has to be realized.
Let me try to give you a
Let
telecom.
me complete it. This has to be realized. What is the investment required in road, ports and airports, and what is the dimension of it to make this happen? Then the next is the investment in the supply chain itself.
Okay.
But that will come. When these two are there, then supply chain will automatically.
Okay. See, we have not worked out the overall figure, let's say, in terms of the infrastructure, but we can, as I explained, in the port side, it is almost 100 crores. But if you include, the other infrastructure, the rail, the shipping, the connectivity point, the road, I mean, the number could increase to maybe 300 or 400. Let's say $100 million for every million ton. We require 1 million ton extra. So we are talking of $100 million additional investment, which probably needs to go into creating that kind of infrastructure. Ports itself is close to around $20–25 million. Rail freight corridors, each one of them will be 30,000 crores. So if we add it up to it, will come to around $100 billion, which is close to $100 billion. It will come to approximately that. So that's not a very big number, because the kind of capital which is flooding, and if you look at the debt versus equity, I mean that's not really. See, the cost of construction in India is much lesser than what is there in USA. And in fact, we say that in a national policy, we should be building our infrastructure now than building it 10 years later, because cost by the time will increase exponentially. exponentially because of labor cost alone.
It's not about availability of capital, it's about allocation of capital to make these infrastructure happen. Plenty of money, but unless it's directed to those
And to
projects.
sustain the belief that we need it.
Now what
We
happens?
unfortunately we lack the belief all the time, and that's why we have not built infrastructure from 1950 onwards. When we built steel plant and fertilizer plant, we should have built infrastructure first probably. But that continues unfortunately. So that belief needs to be, people like you who have prepared a absolutely visionary plan and you've done enough research. But this, if you can incorporate two more points to that, what are the time frame by which the infrastructure should be in place to attain this kind of opportunity, and the two, that what is the cost thereof, and probably because ultimately whether you want to build or I want to build, the government has to agree.
See, what happens if you go by the other sectors, things have happened all simultaneously. Like in telecom, the regulation was changing vis-a-vis the operators coming inside, and it's not that the capital was scarce. I mean, it's just that once the regulation was set into a correct manner, all the capital started flooding, and so there was a foreign capital, there was a domestic capital, and a lot of things started happening. So what government has to do, and what they're probably doing it, and it will also happen, is that the facilitating environment has to be there. Once that is there, things will start falling in place. And yesterday I was talking to a power company of US. So their country head is saying that they are looking to invest in the port and the logistics side, just not power. A lot of international companies, they have realized that it's not necessary that for India they can have a different strategy for growth. Just not power alone. I mean, they can look at the entire infrastructure space because they have certain expertise, they have capital, so they can come into the country and build up. So I think the challenge is not as much in terms of capital. Challenge is not in terms of what is the requirement. The more challenge is if the big boys start coming in, and the big companies, the investments will not be an issue. It will be like a facilitating environment, but that will also happen. So for us, we feel it's happening and it will happen. All the bottlenecks, etc., in terms of regulations, policies, issues will slowly keep getting sorted out. Because the port infrastructure, if you look at it, we have added close to 200 million tons of capacity in last 7 to 8 years, and it's perfectly fine. I mean, there's not many bottlenecks. All the waiting periods at various ports have been reducing. The efficiencies are improving. The bigger ship sizes are coming. So,
How many hours do you take to reach Delhi, Ramesh?
How many hours?
Do you take to reach Delhi?
Delhi, whatever, 1.5
Like
2 hours.
Have you ever reached on time?
No.
Yeah, have you ever reached on time? I take 5 hours in mine because it's always 40 minutes you hover around at their cost. I was aghast to read a 2005 report of one of the biggest consultants in the world to civil aviation ministry, saying that Bombay do not need a second in 2010. I mean, these are the people who are, advising government, and this government is also believing, unfortunately. Now, if you calculate what is today the most valuable asset all of us has got our time. I take 2 hours and 20 minutes to reach here this place from British Candy, Saturday morning. My biggest asset is my time, and so is yours, and all of you. So we don't realize that enough is not happening, boss. I am sorry to say this. I completely disagree with you on this, that enough is just not happening because we have to ahead of time. And the infrastructure has to be ahead of industry. Industry cannot wait for infrastructure. Infrastructure will have to wait for the industry. If you want to achieve anything near this, then there is nothing. What is happening currently, as you rightly said, big boys are available. The investment, there is no doubt. Somebody or other will come and make investment. But the timely enabling provision and approvals and the belief must be exhibited clearly.
For example, recently, for the first time we are talking about investing in infrastructure in these areas. 320 billion is what has been estimated.
Yeah.
Compared to the earlier fiddling around with 50, 20, 100 and all that. The 320 billion for 5-6 years in India is not a big cost, given the size and scale. The question is, who's going to use that money to implement? The enabling institutionalization process and approval for making the road, ports and airports happen. Port is slowly happening, but airports, it has taken 2 years to approve modernization of 2 metro airports. You can't wait. You need about 2.
No.
The second issue is not about airport. Actually, we need a second runway in Bombay Airport